Hey guys, how's it going? It's me again, Evan Hillis, and today I am riding on one of the fun and a little bit dangerous motor taxis. Where am I going? Well, I'm actually going back to my old neighborhood from when I first moved to China, and I'm going to show you my first restaurant in China as well. It's still one of my favorite places. It's a chain of restaurants, and it's really good, so hope you enjoy. And if you want to support me, you can go ahead and remember to leave a like and maybe a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this from me. Thanks in advance, and let's get into it. Alright, so here is the Loshi Bridge. This is the bridge that goes from Panyu into the main part of the city. This is where I first lived, in these apartments back there. I don't know if you can see that. Those buildings back in there. It's my first home in China, and I used to walk from here out this way to the metro station, which then takes you by subway to the city where I worked. Yeah, it's crazy. This bridge is super old. It's only got like 2 lanes going each direction, and it's always getting super packed with cars and super annoying to travel through it by night. So it would get, a lot of traffic. So they're expanding it. Finally, they're making it extra wide. So it looks like they're totally just remodeling this whole area. So there used to be some areas back there where they would keep goats for the restaurant that I'm actually walking to right now. It's a Muslim restaurant. They do have these restaurants. It's like a small chain, and they're all over the city, all over China. They're really good. I really like the food there. It's all halal food, and it's kind of got a little bit of nice spice to it. And this is actually the first restaurant I ever went to in China, because they have pictures all over the walls, and I can't read or couldn't speak Chinese at all at that point. And so this was pretty much a saving grace for me. I was just walking around checking out the neighborhood, and then I saw this place that had all these pictures on the walls, and so I decided, hey, I can just point to a picture and that should work, and it did. Now this is still kind of on the outskirts of the city, so this isn't really like a super popular place where a lot of people go. But yeah, this is kind of, I guess you would call it the suburbs. It's still a big city, but it is a lot less developed, a little bit more on the rough side. But for me, it was really cool. I really liked it here, and you can get pretty much anything you want. There's all sorts of shops and hardware stores, and anything you need, you can get it fixed just with a few steps away from your house. So yeah, lots of little shops around here. And today we're going to here. So this chain of restaurants comes from a city called LanZhou in the Gansu province, which is in the northeast part of China. Gansu is home to many Muslims in China, including the Uyghur group of people who are indigenous to the Xinjiang province, which is in the far northwest of China. And I used to come here like every week, at least a few times. Seems like there's different families that come through, so I don't know if this will be the same ones that knew me back in those years. But let's try some of the food. 你好，要羊肉饭。Let's see. 盖饭还是炒饭？炒饭，这个吗？羊肉炒饭。啊，对，谢谢。Usually I just say 羊肉饭, which means lamb meat rice. And that was enough, but I guess they got a couple different types of it now, which I don't know the difference. They also have a really good soup here. And they also have some delicious drinks, which I'm gonna get this one. Here you go. Thank you. So this is it's called apple vinegar. But really it's more like apple cider, but it does have a bit more of the vinegary taste to it. And it's quite delicious. So here we are at a location in my current apartment complex. As you can see, it's a lot more busy. It's quite packed during regular hours, like lunchtime. This part of the sign usually says halal in English and Chinese and Arabic, but it looks like they covered up the English and the Arabic for some reason. I'm not sure why. Who knows, maybe there's some, China's pretty sensitive about religious stuff already, so I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, here we are, and the name of this place is called LanZhou LaMian, which means something about pulled noodles. La Mian means pulled noodles, so that is actually apparently where the term ramen comes from, because the use of the L and the R sounds in a lot of Asian cultures, and I think in Japanese in particular, tend to kind of get mixed around. So La Mian became Ramien, and then in English kind of got turned to ramen over the course of the years. So these kind of hand-pulled noodles are a signature thing from this restaurant, and they're super delicious. But today I got the rice, so. Thank you. So here it is, my favorite dish, the yan rou fan. We got some lamb and some peppers and some, looks like onions or leeks and other vegetables on a bed of rice. And it is one of my favorite things. It's the first thing I tried here, and it's been my favorite ever since. Pretty much all the restaurants have the same dishes. Some of them do it a little differently. This is the same dish from the restaurant in my garden. It's just a little bit sometimes different depending on what vegetables they have in stock. This one looks like soy sauce, but it's actually vinegar. And I actually like it a lot now. It was kind of weird at first, but it's really grown on me. I do kind of like the sourness of it, and it's not super salty like a lot of soy sauces are. And soy sauce isn't as common in China as far as it being on the table at every restaurant. It's more used for dipping things or for cooking with. This one is the LanZhou, which is just Chinese for pepper. And it's not that spicy here. It's really oily, but it's really good as well. So I like to just throw that on top, grab my chopsticks or kuaizi, and mix that all in there. And then here is the soup, which is also one of my favorite soups at these local Chinese restaurants because it actually has some flavor and salt and spice in it. Whereas a lot of other Guangdong soups are very bland without any flavor. So yes, it is very delicious, and it is something I get anytime I'm just looking to, if I'm feeling sick, I'll drink 2 of these soups and I'll feel right again very quickly.
你好，多少钱？26，好。谢谢，拜拜。拜拜。
That was delicious and quite cheap as well. It's one of my favorite places to go if I want something a little cheaper and that'll fill me up as well. All that was 26 RMB including the drink, which is about $4. And even that's more expensive than it used to be. It used to be like 12 RMB for that dish, and the drink was usually like 2. So it depends where you go. Some parts of town are more expensive. It's usually just depending on probably how much the rent costs in that area. So if you're in the city, it's going to be around 20 something. If you're in the smaller parts of town, it'll be a little cheaper. This one used to be cheap, but I guess it's getting more built up around here now, so hence the price went up. But yeah, that was delicious, and that's it for now. And I'll see you guys later.